Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to this week's Randomania edition of the weekly Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer race. I am Leslie Pro 04 and I am joined tonight by Wolfman 2000. How you doing tonight, Wolfman?
Good evening, Leslie. I am glad it's the weekend, and I am glad that we have... Oh my goodness, we are only showing 4 of our runners today, but it looks like we actually have 15 runners for this weekly race.
Wow, that's a lot of runners. There's some weeks where we don't have that many, and to see this many for this particular week, that puts a smile on my face because I've been here for a number of these weekly races, well, when my schedule allows, that is. And to see this number is a good thing. It can only go up from here.
So, what is Mario 3 Randomizer? Well, we can randomize a number of things here. On the middle of your screen, you see our 7 worlds before World 8. That world order can be randomized. The levels on the map can be randomized. The enemies within the levels are randomized. The power-ups are randomized. The music can optionally be randomized, but most runners choose to leave that alone. And plenty more. Is there anything important I'm missing there?
Sounds like you got it all, but one thing that this randomizer will do is take out all the auto-scrollers except for 2. 5, 9, and a lost level, which we call Lost Auto-Scroller.
Ah, yes, the lost dip into Atlantis, or perhaps it's 6-9 Beta, depending on what you call it.
I call it a cold dip in the Arctic. Sorry, I'm not doing any polar bear plunges right now. Can't pay me enough to do that.
Whatever you call it, let's just hope we don't encounter it.
Agreed.
Right now we're waiting for one more runner to be good to go, and then the actual countdown can start. So if any of you folks at home wish to actually give this randomizer a shot, you will see a link in the Twitch chat to join the Discord community and get the randomizer yourself.
This randomizer is a lot of fun. SMB3 is a game that I grew up with, and this randomizer has definitely breathed a lot of new life into it, and I've had lots of fun with it. Here's to hoping that our runners tonight will have just as much fun with it, if not more.
Indeed, and we already have some of our fans already asking for, oh gosh, Leslie, they want what you call Piranha Panic, but what most people remember as the second fortress of Pipeland.
Yeah, chat's out for blood tonight, although a word to the wise, if you ask for blood and play this randomizer, let's just say the game knows, and it could come back to bite you. It's done that to me, so just a word to the wise.
I thought we were almost ready, but okay, there we go. Probably just had to take care of a minor controller adjustment. Hopefully, we will have no other runner attempt to unready before the countdown properly starts, because we gotta keep the folks at home entertained here.
Yep, these people want to be entertained, and I say it's time for them to be entertained.
So what other levels do you folks at home want to see here?
Me, I like to see a good, simpler stage to start, maybe like 3-1 or something like that. Because I know some of the starts lately have been a bit on the rough side.
Okay, runners have the countdown. We should be taking off momentarily on our ends.
Yep, time to have some fun. This is just like Wednesday, and I predicted this on Wednesday to start in World 1, which I thought was kind of funny. But we also get a World 1 stage on top of it, World 1-4.
Well, congratulations on predicting the world, but not necessarily the level order. Now, as mentioned earlier by Leslie Pro, this was an auto-scroller. It's no longer an auto-scroller, but it can still be a painful level, as Killer App just demonstrated.
Oh, you hate to see that, folks, as you miss a jump at a stage like this, you could be tumbling down a pit.
And the next level, ooh, this is, I guess you can call this the Ceiling Oasis stage 2-4, I believe.
Wait, how did Buster B get hit by that piranha plane? That doesn't make much sense to me.
That Paragoomba hit makes a little more sense, I'm afraid.
Yep, the Paragoombas are known to be trolls, as Killer App is currently getting trolled by the Mini Goombas. Armoretta's through the stage, as well as Tapatio J, and we get the first fortress right out of the chute. Not a bad one to have right off, because with the tail, Tapatio is going to be able to fly up and get an item, as is Armoretta. This is going to be an item, and what's it going to be? It's going to be our wild card. It's going to be an anchor.
So the reason why Leslie Pro mentioned that it's a wild card is because one of the flag settings for this randomizer is, beta level. It's the beta of 1.5 on 1.5. Nice. Anyway, the reason for the anchor being a wild card. With the flag set we have, the airship never moves, so we've repurposed it. It's now another item.
Oh, Buster B tries to go high over the Sledge Brother, but unfortunately the Sledge Brother had the same idea, Killer App taking a death in the fort as well.
And Buster B, that's a game over. Ouch. Not something we see every day, so why don't you explain the game overs for a moment?
Okay, so in a game over on Super Mario Bros. 3. Now, I know it's the first world, but there's some things to remember. Is that all the stages you've cleared, you have to clear again, except for the fortress levels. Those remain ruined and wrecked, and their locks unlocked. Now, if you had any items, then you still keep those. The game's not going to do that to you. I mean, this isn't a Konami game. A Konami game might do that, but not a Nintendo game.
Oh boy, sounds like you've had some issues with Castlevania in the past.
Actually, I'm only mentioning that because of the reveal of Simon and Richter Belmont for the upcoming Smash game. Although, yes, I have played Castlevania 1 and 2 in my time. That was a kid. Those games wrecked me. We got a music box out of the World 1 Hammer Brother, and that's the World 4 Airship. Also, one last thing to note about game overs is that some players, if they're out of lives at the end of a world, will take a game over at the start of the next one to get their live count back.
Indeed, once you get a game over, you reset back to 5 lives. Or 4, depending on how you count it. Alright, I forgot to take the names of the Koopa kids, but I believe this is Larry to start things off, and it takes 5 stomps on this one.
Yeah, Larry came to play today, but he unfortunately did not best Armoretta or Tapatio J. Well, unfortunately for him, and they're both out of World 1 in under 4 minutes. Nicely done.
Not bad, not bad. And yes, Mew Mew fan, Simon Belmont is going to be a character in the new Smash Bros. Ultimate game, so now's a good time to celebrate.
Yep, absolutely. Hello, is it me you're looking for?
Oh,
gee.
Killer App not
geez.
celebrating though. Fire chomp to the face. And now a fire brother. Ooey.
Yeah, well, good news for Killer App is that should he game over, that lock will still remain destroyed. However, he would have to play through 1.5 beta a second time.
Also, Amorietta apparently had gotten a hammer and was able to skip straight to the fortress of World 4, same as Tapatio J.
Yeah, after clearing World 1, the item that our players are going to get is going to be a hammer. All of our runners are going to get that, and with World 4 right away, what better way than to show off one of the features of this randomizer than that particular situation and break the lock. Meanwhile, we got an end card game on Killer App's side. Let's see if he gets anything. I've got one. Got the one thing. What is it?
It's a mushroom.
That'll help. In this situation, no lives, no power-up. Might as well just take what you got and run with it. Oh, I would disagree with that hitbox, but he got the kill and the W. Music box, bit anticlimactic, but he got it done.
We did notice that Tapatio also got a match with the Fire Flower, but we had missed what that item was.
Good point. We'll have to check with the inventory. Now, oftentimes in these seeds, you'll see our runners clear 2 or 3 end card games, as Armoretta, unfortunately having a bit of trouble with the pyramid stage, had to go back and respawn a Buzzy Beam.
It's a more Rieta. My apologies if the I is not as well pronounced there.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do some pronunciation work on that one.
It's fine. You're learning. I'm learning. We're all learning. And soon we're gonna learn about another stage, or not. Thank you, Hammer Brother, for choosing to be rude to Tapatio J. At least we get a hammer out of it.
And you also got a 1-up mushroom as well. So we know there's a hammer in the World 4 Hammer Brothers set, and I think it's the last one on Armoretta's side. Yeah, I'm trying it. Unfortunately, Killer App took a game over, so now has to do 1-5 and 1-6.
Fortunately, I believe the fortress was taken out beforehand, so don't have to go through that many stages.
Yeah, unfortunately, had he got the item, he would have had to play the entire world, as the lock would have remained intact.
Oh, good point. I forgot about that little feature.
Hey, we got ourselves a 3-pointer! Armoretta gets a Fire Flower match. And that's a Cloud for... Okay, game, that's just rude. We now know that the Cloud, which is the wild card, is going to be the Cloud? Did I say Cloud twice? I'm pretty sure I just did. I meant Anchor. But yeah.
Anchor being Lakitu's Cloud is useful if you're able to actually skip a stage, but not only was that fortress unskippable, but there was a Hammer Brother Guardian there. Alright, what airship are we going to encounter? World 2s.
This is a nice one. I mean, if you have a tail here outside the auto-scroll, you can actually fly up and over that post that divides the level, forcing you to go underneath in the vanilla. But without that, well, you've got fire. Oh, and we got our first Earthquake Koopa kit of the evening.
Iggy Koopa has the ability to stomp, but not the ability to be stomped. Only one hit to death.
That is the definition of a glass cannon.
Alright, Buster B, making his way through the pyramid, has an opening and is able to get through. Nice.
Nicely done, Killer App through World 1.
Tapatio J wrapping up the second world, and apparently the king of that world never visited Florida.
Or Los Angeles. I've heard things about the 405 now. World 3. Is it world free? No, we still have some stages to go through.
Abort? That's 5-9. I don't know if
Tapatio, it might be taking a gamble here, I would think, because he might be gambling that either this pipe is the one, or it will lead to the one, assuming that door isn't locked.
Also, it looks like 4-6 today is 4-2, and Buster B is the only one who took that path.
It's a relatively short stage, but also a stage where you could see a double boss bass in some seeds.
Oh gosh, I don't even want to think about it. Okay, Morietta found 5-9, abandoned it, and is now in, well, 5-4. I don't know if that's necessarily an improvement because of those spinning platforms of doom, especially if you have some trouble handling them. I know I sometimes do.
Oh, those platforms trip up even the best of runners. Look at how Tapatio is just going through this card game so easily.
Yep, 2 stars, 1 fire flower, 1 mushroom.
Not checking the menu just yet. He goes to 1-2.
And Amorietta is in 6-8.
Now, interesting thing to note is that you can take one of the white blocks and just kick it right to the left and take out the Angry Sun, even from the top of the H, but Armoretta does not do that. Instead, just opts to run straight through the level, avoid the Angry Sun, and hit the card.
Alright. Okay, Mew Mew fan is about to cheer because this is one of the military stages, the super tanks.
Yep. When the auto scroller's on, it's just hold right and shoot fireballs if you're Fire Mario. Oglip has a name for it. Someone mentioned that a few minutes ago and I totally forgot it. Oops.
Meanwhile, Morietta has gone backwards, apparently, going from 6-8 to 6-7. Alright, is this the right pipe for Tapatio J to take today? Yes, it is!
Wow, what a play. That play could have easily not worked out, but in this case, it absolutely does.
Who would have thought going through 5-9 would be fast? That just feels wrong.
It certainly does, but there are times or sometimes you just make a gamble like that, and it just happens to work out. And nope, Wendy's not Earthquake, and she only takes 2 hits, thankfully.
In the meantime, Desert Fortress for Morietta, 5-4-4 Buster B, not taking the other path, probably a good thing. And Killer App is trying to deal with the Hammer Bros in Giant Land. Nice destruction there. Have a hammer.
Yep, a hammer to cause even more destruction.
Alright, World for today is World 2. We have gone in mostly order. It's kind of strange to see this.
Yeah, it certainly is, but something like this could give our runners a false sense of security, because these are the 4 shortest worlds of the game. Well, unless you get a really good 7, but that's up to RNG. So that being said, this could lull our runners into a false sense of security.
Alright, I always forget if this is 3-5 or 3-4 that TOJ is in, or, excuse me, was in. Meanwhile, Amorietta is cleaning out for 1.
That was 3-4, by the way.
Thank you. 3-4-3-4. We had another bit of vanilla ice cream in the fridge today.
Yeah, but it's a good time of year for ice cream with how hot it's been. Meanwhile, Tapatio J is on a Starman running 7-3. Even though that is the vanilla power for this stage, I like going on a good Starman run.
Unfortunately, the Koopa Paratroopa chose to end it.
Looks like Red is going the other way now. I wonder if it... Dude, that saved! Holy cow!
What happened there, folks, was a despawned platform. 5-9 can have that happen, especially with how the enemy order may spawn. Fortunately, made it through. Also, oh gosh, 7-4 or 7-5, Tapatio taking the intentional death and is going to head around.
Definitely a good call on Tapatio's part, because there are stages that our runners will avoid if they have the choice. Like, 7-5 is definitely one said stage.
So instead, we head to 3-9, which has plenty more Paragoombas and Paratroopas, and I don't even want to think about Hammer Brothers. Thankfully, they don't exist, but you know that would be scary.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Mario Maker, but I wouldn't be surprised if that were somehow a thing in Mario Maker. Looks like Killer App's taking the 5-9 climb, and if he stays on this route, he's gonna be rewarded.
Now, the difference between Killer App and Amoriat at this stage, Killer App does not have a tail. If we have a despawn platform, that's it.
Yeah, I had a tournament race where that happened, where an enemy caused a platform to despawn, and there was absolutely nothing I could do but laugh it off because, well, it was also the first time I had seen it, so I just laughed. Basically all I could do, really.
Alright, fortunately no despawn platforms here, as TappaTOJ clears out 3-5, since we've already established 3-4.
Yep, and Armoretta is moments away from getting to World 2. Buster B going back for the Sledge Brothers. Uh-oh, these are... Sledge Brothers, these guys can quake the screen, and if you're not careful, you could get stun locked into a point like that where there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, that's never a good way to go. Alright, World 1 Airship. Since this is World 2, we are going to encounter Morton Koopa Jr., who is also a Quaker, but in this case, not as much of a glass cannon, but still 2 hits.
Yeah, our Earthquake Koopa kids tonight were SAWFT soft.
Also, Buster B has taken the other path, and we have the Muncher-Run level 7-7. Has to lose the Tanuki tail to get the star, though.
Yeah, and he's getting the last star, which is always a good safety tactic, but top-level speedrunners of this game will play this level small and not take that star, which is quite incredible to see.
But now we're in the pipe maze. And while the first pipe may have been kind of vanilla, the second one was also kind of vanilla, but not in a good way. You never want to visit that bottom middle island, because you'd have to complete 2 stages to go through to another pipe.
Yeah, the only way you really want to go there is if you absolutely have to. Like, oh, hello, Boss Bass. Bye-bye, Boss Bass. And we get ourselves our first 5-star splash of the night, with Buster B getting the 5 up. If there was another, I might have missed it.
So, Buster B actually took the vanilla route to this fortress, but still got to the super tanks.
It looks like he took a hit to get P-Speed here, which isn't a bad strategy.
And Atom, oh gosh, my Roman numerals knowledge is bad right now.
45.
Thank you. I may have missed it.
Armoretta's out of 3. And Killer App as well.
Again, Leslie, I'll try to help you out. It's Amorietta.
Amorietta. Oh, like, that's Amori, right?
Sure, we'll go with that.
Okay, close enough!
Oh! That is...
Hey, Boss Bass.
But that's also 3-7.
Oh, just about got munched there. Doesn't go for the item. Now, there is a hidden item you can get in this level after a bit of an auto-scroller. Tapatio, not interested and is moving on. Will our other runners take the same strategy, or will they do something different? I don't know.
Honestly, the amount of time it takes, I can understand skipping it. Uh-oh, 6-5. This is another boss bass. Okay, Tapatio was prepared and immediately fired the fireballs. We don't have to worry.
Yeah, this is also a stage where flight is required to clear it, so because of that, power-ups are not shuffled in this level. However, the enemies up top are.
And if we're unlucky, we could have something like a fire snake come down right here. Or a micro Goomba. Fortunately, that didn't happen this time.
Yeah, I've had a Kuribo Goomba land right on me as I got up there, but thankfully I had enough height to still get up there anyway. Just silly, awesome. It was cool. I still made it through, so it was all good.
Alright, Fortress for World 7. Second one, technically, but it's the first one of World 3.
Now, this one has a one-frame trick that out of the third door, where if you hit up on the first frame where you have control over Mario or Luigi, you actually go back in the door and the game puts you at boom boom.
I was never able to get that whenever I played. I just stuck to door 6.
Yeah, that's basically what I do too, but it's still worth noting because there are those who actually go for stuff like that. Like, the only thing I've gotten frame perfect out of a door is a frame perfect jump, known as a yump in the Super Mario World community.
Alright, Buster B and Killer App going after Hammer Bros. And both are successful. Amorietta trying to get the Fire Flower does so, but Boss Bass wants to eat her.
Amorietta, excusez-moi, doing an excellent job of dodging the boss bass there, and decides, you know what, bye-bye, right at the end.
And Ludwig von Koopa is a two-hitter quitter. Ouch. Ouch for them, not the runners.
Yeah, but at this point, looking at the pace of the seed, we know what 2 worlds remain, but 5 worlds in under 23 minutes is an astoundingly fast pace for whatever seed.
And we've already gone through some of the worst. Now, admittedly, the remaining 2 worlds are kinda sort of linear, but at least we don't have to worry about routing issues.
And now some frozen vanilla in World 6.
Which means World 5 will be the penultimate one. And Tapatio chose to use the hammer at that position. I'm not sure I agree with that. The reason why, meaning... Oh, never mind, just get another one and prove me wrong, sure.
Game knows you were talking about it.
The reason why I was going to suggest against that play is because we know that World 5 is going to be the next one. There is an excellent place to skip 3 stages in the second part of the Sky World. And in this case, we only got to skip 2 stages. But I guess it doesn't matter in the end because we got a hammer anyway.
Yep, absolutely. And 5 would be the place to skip it. But on another thought, if we get another hammer, then, well, we could potentially run into 7F2. We could just bust the lock and skip that.
Also a fair point. We have skipped 2 fortresses so far, I believe. So who knows what else there is. Ah, here's something we haven't seen yet, and honestly I'm surprised. It's a hand level.
The hand levels, you will have an item at the end of them. The item will be the same for all 3. Question is, what will it be? Plus, they're short. Starman, nice.
Also, Killer App took a different path through World 5, which is World 7, and we actually get to see 7-2. Not in its vanilla location, but certainly good to know. Also... Oh, Tapatio is in 4-6, the Magic Door stage. Reason I call it that, just enter the doors and you'll get different enemy sets.
It's also a great way to shake off a boss bass. And Gary, I'm with you on that on 7F2. Definitely not a fan of that one.
Oh, Killer App is in 7-5, the water level stage.
7-4 is the water level. 7-5 is the long underground level that one of our runners decided to nope out of.
But both are terrible. Well, at least I think both are terrible.
Well, neither one's fun, I'll just say that much. Meanwhile, Tapatio in 6-7 finds 3-1.
Gary and Old Wolf does bring up an excellent point. If a 7-4 stayed the auto-scroller that it was, it would just be worse.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, 6-6 is bad enough without auto-scrolling. Meanwhile, Killer App is in 6F3.
Interesting order that our runners are taking the pipe maze. But in the meantime, Tapatio has already found the first fortress of World 4.
And is opting to use a P-Wing here. Well, for a damage boost, anyway.
Certainly helps. Massive Main, what part of the randomizer is not clear? I can tell you that there are many different types of flag settings you can use, and the settings that are currently active are the tournament settings from the previous tournament, which randomizes world order, stage order, enemies within, Toad House power-ups, whole bunch of stuff.
Also worth noting, and I know this is something that you probably won't see, there are some stages where if you get enough coins, you spawn what is known as a white Toad House, which in the vanilla game, the odd number worlds would have a P-Wing and even an anchor. Those are also randomized. But you probably will not see those.
Yeah, in order to see them, you have to get basically all the coins of a particular level, and just hope it works out. Because if you miss one coin, there you go. Also, we just missed a Morietta go through one of the other beta levels, effectively 7-1 beta.
Yeah, and those stages are either auto-scrollers or stages that can be a bit tricky. Those stages in vanilla being 1-4, 2-2, 3-8, 4-2, 5-7...
Oh, we got we had triple boss bass action going on. Sorry, I had to mention that.
It's alright. Oh! It's alright. I misspoke. 5-6 and boss bass just got a meal.
Yeah,
that was 6-7 and 7-7-2. Moving on.
That was just poor timing on all of our parts there.
It happens. But what's not poorly timed is that Starman.
Yeah, that's gonna help get through the Mortar Motor. Well, come on, Boss Bass, stop cheating!
Right now, yeah, Boss Bass is being a rude cheat.
No!
Isn't it?
Killer App!
No! So hecking close. Gotta go back for the power-up.
I called that situation!
Get the Starman kill.
I called that situation and it actually happened. I am sorry. Please, forgive me, Killer App.
That does happen sometimes, unfortunately. And we got Air Force.
We had Air Force, have to go into it again. Okay, Killer App makes it through and makes sure to stomp on that Micro Goomba for good measure. Buster B somehow spawned the Boss Bass, either spawned it on the right-hand side or just brought Boss Bass with him the entire way, but if that's the case, you have 5 seconds to make the flight up before you risk being eaten again.
Yep, did see a pretty healthy tail slap up, and he got eaten, and Boss Bass is also eating a Koopa shell on top of it.
I have to say it. Get in my belly! Chunk!
So there's more than just one getting in the belly. Opting to P-Wing, that's a good strategy for this stage. And we have World 7's airship, so that just leaves one left for World 5, which will be next.
Yep, the World 3 airship will be at the end of World 5 today. Of course, World 5 is perhaps the longest intentional one, or World 6's, depending on how you call it. As I said, Worlds 5 and 6 are relatively linear because you don't have a lot of route divergence to worry about. However, you do have to go through a couple of long maps.
Yep, of our 4 featured runners, there would actually be Tapatio J in the lead at the moment. And Morietta not very far behind, just an airship.
And Buster B is going through the second Piranha level. Now that I think about it, I could have sworn I saw a Boss Bass on this stage as well.
Yep, that you did.
Oh no, that's the wrong elevation! Get in the pipe! Get in the pipe! Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, that's one of the problems of P-Speed, having the screen scroll. Boss Bass sometimes follows you up, and in that case, that can cause major trouble. Killer App weighing his options and deciding not to break the pipe, or rather break the rock. Instead, it's going to play the 6-1 stage, and that is going to be 1-1. Loses the frog suit. Gets a super leaf, but now has a Cheep Cheep following him around. Needless to say, it's quite cheap.
So, the Wild One asks about the world order here. So, Tapatio J is right now on the 7th world of 8. It just so happens that the 7th world today is World 5 in the vanilla game. Killer App is in World 6, which in this case is Vanilla World 6. In this case, the more worlds we see, the better.
Yep, and we got ourselves 5F2 on Tapatio's side, using a P-Wing. Probably thinking this might be 7F2, but thankfully not. However, the P-Speed does certainly help with this section. Now, interesting to note about 5F2, in the All-Stars version of the game, that ceiling is also technically a lava pit, which is also a death plane.
Our runners have been doing very well to get through this seed here, so please make sure to give them a follow, as I'm sure they will appreciate it, and don't forget about my commentary partner, Leslie Pro.
And don't forget about Wolfman, follow him as well, he does a lot of awesome stuff. And Tapatio J just went through a coin ship. Now the good thing about the coin ship in Rando is that it does not auto-scroll, so you don't have to worry about that.
And I'm gonna ask that you commentate a little bit longer. I need to confirm. We have a runner who claims to have finished, but based off of this time, I'm not sure about it. Remember, there are 15 runners in the race, so I just want to double check the time.
Yes, sure, go ahead. And meanwhile, what we have now with Tapatio J's side is one of the stages that cannot be randomized because it is a static stage. That is the tower in World 5. That tower is needed to go up to the Sky World. And the other stages that aren't randomized, the two Piranha stages we already saw in World 7, as well as Bowser's Castle, the penultimate stage of the game. Now, at the top of this section of Sky World is a lock that if you have a hammer, you can break that and skip 3 stages, which is a fantastic way to use a hammer. Tapatio J does that and finds ourselves, well, a fort where you wish you had a tail, 7F1. This fort does require flight. Thankfully, there is a tail here, which Tapatio J is on his way to pick up. It is in the form of a Tanuki suit, an item that is not randomized because, well, you want the game to be beatable, so that's why it stays the same.
Okay, I have confirmation as to what happened. So, we had a runner, a newer runner, apparently not realize that you were supposed to only do a .done command when you're actually done with the race. So technically, this is a runner who should have done a .quit. So technically, this first place, as is claimed, is not first place. So we're gonna have to actually get this one reviewed by an admin appropriately, but not much we can do. So technically, we are now down to 13 runners left because we had one that had to leave early due to unexpected circumstances. Also, how did Tapatio J manage to go through that boss bass in A2?
My guess is he wound up being towards Boss Bass's tail. My guess is that Boss Bass's hurt box being his mouth. Nice mega jump, by the way. And because of that, doesn't get eaten. Boss Bass doesn't even realize he's got a meal right next to him because he's blind and Tapatio's going, "You can't see me." Yes, what are hitboxes?
Also, apparently I had missed another stage that had taken place. I barely saw it on screen. I do know that we have the first-hand level, but was there another stage that had come in within the past 2 minutes?
Not sure, because I was focused on explaining how Tapatio is going up through the top part of World 5. Unfortunately, taking a death in the first hand level, a good stage to have a Fire Flower for, because Hammer Brothers do not like getting hit with fireballs. Always have, always will.
Fair enough. And apparently we do have the... Okay, I did cover 1.5 already. And now we have the World 3 airship for Tapatio.
And Morietta going for the Sans a Shame strat with a Boss Bass and makes... Wow. How did she do that? Normally I go for Sans a Shame with Boss Bass and I get eaten. That was awesome.
7-9, I think I had that one. It may have been a different one, Mew Mew fan, but don't worry too much about it. We'll figure it out eventually. Or maybe not. It wasn't a fortress stage. Alright, time for World 8 for Tapatio J.
And we got Mortar Motorway for Buster B, and he just flies right through it. Or should I say motors through it. And we got a beta level to start World 8.
I believe that's the 5.3 beta. And, oh, Killer App is in 5.6. This is a level where, even though it used to auto-scroll and currently doesn't auto-scroll, you probably want it to auto-scroll because of those Parabeetles.
Parabeetles are an enemy that Mario uses as a platform, so they can't be defeated in that manner. However, the auto-scroller aspect of that level would provide a queue for them to spawn. This makes Starman, oh wow, free 8-pack, we're gonna have ourselves a rather quick finish. potentially. As Tapatio J going for 6F2 fly and getting it.
Nicely done. So, this is definitely proving to be a fast seed here. Morietta already approaching World 8. Tapatio J is already one stage away from completion, but we actually have a proper finish. Proa 007 takes actual first place with an official SRL time of 40 minutes, 18 seconds.
Yep, nicely done there. And Tapatio J is getting rid of that cloud. Probably hoping for a hammer suit there, but no dice. I think that was the one thing we missed from this seed, and actually was a hammer suit, which is used to defeat Bowser in very short order.
You know what? I think you're right. I don't recall seeing a hammer suit anywhere. Which means we actually have to deal with vanilla Bowser strategies. What on earth is this seed?
Well, this seed must like vanilla in its coffee or something. That's about all I can think of.
I mean, it's one thing to have vanilla stages and vanilla world orders, but to not have a hammer suit available? We're gonna have to check the inventory of the other runners.
Alright, here we go. So the Bowser strat that you're going to see here is that Tapatio is just going to do that. Squat right under Bowser's head, because Bowser's hitbox is quite literally only in his head. Love how they programmed in early NES games. They make for some good speedruns in that regard.
Was this fixed in the All-Stars version?
I don't think it was fixed in the All-Stars version, but Super Mario Advance 4 did indeed fix it, as Bowser goes crashing through the floor, crashing and burning, and Tapatio J has put a wrap on this seed.
Of course, we have to remember the most important action: go through the door.
Yep, but did that? Wow, we got ourselves some action. We have a 42-21 and a 42-23. Macobra sniping Tapatio J by 2 seconds. That was super close. GG's to both.
Indeed. Tapatio J, congrats on 3rd place. And we already have... well, no, not yet. But effectively, on my other screen, I can confirm that Paradox is about to go into the door. And there we go, 43:01.
Some very fast times in this seed, as Morietta is going through Bowser's castle right now. In fact, fighting Bowser at this point. Just one more floor slam away from being done with this seed. Well, that and a door transition, but you know what I mean.
Human Mustard has just finished in 5th place with 43:26. And now we're waiting for Morietta to go into the door and get her time. Just have to wait a little bit longer. Oh no, we had a 1 second difference here. Classic Gamer.
Oh wow.
Classic Gamer sniped Morietta for 6th place with 43:37. And Morietta has to settle for 7th with 43:38.
Wow, that is still a fantastic time for everyone involved. Wow, hats off to our runners tonight. And GG's, these times I'm seeing are excellent.
With that, we have Tapatio J in. Congratulations on what is actually 3rd place for your run.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, of course. But yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, pretty fun.
That was something amazing to watch, because you guys absolutely crushed this seed without a doubt.
Yeah, the only thing I'm really disappointed was that I had that one hand level death and that one boss bass death, and then using the anchor right there at the end. Totally, that actually took me away from second place. I would have had second place if I didn't use the anchor, which is funny. That was a good one.
Yeah, the one thing we didn't see out of the inventory was a hammer suit. Strangely enough, I mean, we had all the makings of a jet seed, yet no hammer suit for the end.
Yeah, I was hoping for that or a flower, and when I saw that, I was like, oh well, okay. So usually, if I ever see that, I'll hit a P-wing. I'll try to get to that one item box that's down there, and really hope that it gives me a flower out of that, because I hate doing the slow Bowser kill. So
I think we all do.
No.
And with that in mind, speaking of close races, Morietta, you fought a very hard game, but unfortunately 6th place was taken away from you.
I know. By 1 second, right?
Yep.
It was like the amount of time it took me to type .done and then hit enter. That was basically it.
There are some runners that choose to have .done pre-typed, but it doesn't always work well for them, so I can completely understand wanting to type it yourself.
I feel like I would do something stupid like accidentally press enter and something like that, so I don't want to do that, but it makes sense.
That is completely fair, but how about we talk about, the actual run, not so much the post-game.
That one cloud that was the anchor, I wasted.
Damn.
I don't think anybody saw that coming, to be honest, because I was thinking it was going to be some sort of power-up, like a frog suit or
Yeah,
a
exactly.
Starman.
Because there was a hammer bro coming up, and I was small, and I was like, all right, it's probably in water or fire bros, so I'm going to die. So I was like, the chances of this being a cloud is very small, because it's never a cloud, right?
Yeah,
Of course
just about
it was
never
a cloud.
see that.
Yeah.
Time it was.
Any other clouds, though? I don't think I found any other ones.
Not that I saw.
Okay, Buster B is right now going through what you were going through. The A2 Sandfall.
Oh.
And, how were you able to perform that dodge?
Me? Or...
Yeah, you.
In which level is that?
A2, the one where you fall into the sand to choose a left or right bonus pipe to skip the big note block pit.
I was, I don't know, careful, I guess.
Yeah, I always mistime that. So whenever I see Boss Bass in A2, I just go, because I always time it to the point where Boss Bass just gets a sand snack.
Well, he won't eat you when you're falling. I think the little cheap though will hurt you if you fall, but Boss Bass won't eat you until you fall down.
I'm gonna have to try that sometime. Because usually I just gun it because I want no part of a Boss Bass snack. That's just me.
Yeah, most times if you go right into the pit, it will just miss you pretty much each time. I have had it to where like I've kind of missed the jump a little bit and delayed it, and then it'll eat you on the way down. But yeah, it's usually pretty safe.
Learn something new every day, I guess.
Also,
yeah.
Just to confirm for the both of you, and apparently there actually was a hammer suit. It's, I've seen some conflicting answers in Twitch chat, but apparently it was either found somewhere in World 4, or it was the 3-7 item if you did not go for the card.
Okay.
It depends on which source you believe.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the World 4 one makes sense for me, just because, I ended up using a hammer, kind of cut that stage in half, and sometimes that hammer bro just never comes back across 7, or would be 4-3. So yeah, I just kind of let that one go. That was unfortunate. Yeah, I would have. I figured like I had to have somewhere along the line. I had to have grabbed a hammer suit or fire flower for Bowser, and I was kind of stunned that I didn't have it at the end. I'm like, oh no, okay.
Yeah, I didn't have any. I didn't have anything for no hammer suit, no flower. I have to remember to try to save a flower for that. I don't really think of doing that, but I think
Yeah.
I had one somewhere and I used it.
Mm-hmm.
Used it up. It would have been good to save it.
Yep, we got ourselves a number of sub 50s tonight. So far, everybody that has finished, most recently, Claris.com with a 46.27 in ninth place, excuse me. All of them sub 50 thus far.
And Claris also confirmed hammer suit in 3-7 Lakitu.
Okay. Wow.
1-4. What was that? That was like earlier on. I think that was the anchor. Yeah, that was the anchor that turned out to be the cloud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I held that thing the entire way through, and then I ended up using it on the very last screen when I didn't need it at all. That was just fantastic way to lose time.
I used it early, and then I had like a 4 or 5 second moment of just staring at it. I was like, seriously.
Especially because you couldn't use it at that point. You were either going to run into the hammer, brother, or you were going to run into the fortress, in which case, Buster B, you found the Piranha Panic Fortress.
Oh, no.
Go, take that other pipe. Get to the end of this.
Yeah, mercifully, that way was not required. Especially with some of the 7F2 shenanigans we've had in some of the other races, like Wednesday. That was rough.
So
Either way, we got Killer Rap almost in Bowser's Castle, looking to finish this off.
Does have a fire flower though, so we can at least get a semi-quick kill.
Takes 35 fireballs.
Buster B just lost his though.
Oh.
So did Killer Rap.
Fortunately, I was going to say fortunately at least had an extra hit, but Killer App is now doing the Bowser fight small.
This can be dangerous, because sometimes you can do this strat and Bowser's head will just dip low enough and you take that hit.
Mm-hmm.
Odin's pack has finished in 10th with 51-18. Will Killer App take 11th?
But not too far behind is Buster B. This could be a good finish from both. Because here comes Buster B.
Avoiding the fireballs.
And Killer Rap drops Bowser through the hole.
Just has to get through the door. And there we go. 53-34 for Killer App 23 in 11th place. Now will Buster B do the same? Oh, I couldn't tell if that was a misalignment on the bricks there.
No, I think Buster B is okay.
Should be at this point.
Buster B's got it.
And with that, our featured 4 have crossed the finish line successfully. Enjoy that 54-20.
Killer Rap of the 53-34. Well done by all 4 of our featured runners, as well as everyone in the field.
I was about to ask Killer App if he wanted to join for an interview, but he has chosen to leave the IRC room.
Well, so it goes.
But hopefully we can get Buster B in. There is one more runner left in the feature, or in this weekly, Herbaceous Meteor. So perhaps by the time this...
Go ahead.
Perhaps by the time this interview concludes, we will see Herbaceous finish.
It was a pretty merciful seed compared to some of the ones most of the ones we've been getting lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a merciful one for sure, because last Wednesday's, that one left me thinking, this run of luck's gonna continue. Let's do Calm Saturday, and sure enough, we'll probably flip. Yep.
Alright, we have confirmation that Buster B is unable to join for an interview, but does at least say you're welcome to as effectively the comment. Apparently everyone had enjoyed this seed for the most part, and I think that's a fair statement.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We needed a seed like this one that we enjoyed, not one that just downright beat us up and left us feeling like, ow, why?
So at the very least, as we wrap up some of our final thoughts, we can at least listen to some good old-fashioned Raccoon Rhapsody to remember the times of Grassland. So, Morietta, Tapatio, final thoughts?
I don't know. It's a pretty good seed. I got a PB the other day of, I think, 41 something. So, but even sub 50 at all for me is pretty good. So, I'm happy with it. It's good. It's good. Good run.
Yeah. I think it was definitely pretty friendly. You know, I wish there was maybe just like one more hammer suit there, so I could have finished out a little bit better. And then yeah. For the most part, I was pretty happy. I don't think I took a death there until that one silly boss fast test, so I was pretty happy with that. But yeah, I think overall, really good race. I mean, Macobra beat me, I think, by 2 seconds, so I think we had two really close finishes here. So, yeah, that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. The close finishes were a common thread tonight, because there was a 2 second separation, there was a 1 second separation. And yeah, anytime you sub 50 one of these seeds, that's a very good run. A 41 is just outstanding. I don't even have a PB that good. Give it time, I probably will.
With that in mind, please give it up for Killer App 23, Tapatio J, Buster B, and Omorietta. Please give them a follow if you haven't already, along with my commentary partner Leslie Pro 04.
Absolutely. Yeah. Don't forget to follow Wolfman as well.
Alright, minor administrative stuff now. We are about to head on over to Randomania Prime, where there is a quad match, to my understanding, in the Dragon Warrior Randomizer tournament. For some reason, I only have 2 players listed, but I'm reasonably sure it's a quad right now. Let me just double check to be sure. We have Tristal MTG versus NES Cardinality and the Seawolf 1 versus Dataplet currently in progress, but we are going to send you all over there. So, for everyone here, this is Wolfman2000 saying, until next time, watch out for Boss Bass. We are now sending you to the primary Randomania channel, where you will catch the quad match of Dragon Warrior Randomizer. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody. Take care.
Good night.
Good night. GG's.